The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, this is your old friend Monster Zero. And over the past week or so, since the last show, I've gotten some comments about my tirade about the San Diego chicken. And I just want to address that for a little bit. Now, you might think that I might have gone a little bit too far in talking about the San Diego chicken the way I did last week. Well, I've had a week to think about it, and the only thing that I could come up with is, are you out of your fucking minds? What the hell's the matter with you? Have you ever seen the San Diego chicken's antics? Have you ever seen what this thing does? He fucks things up. He makes a complete asshole out of himself. Watch him on the baseball bunch. I'm telling you, he fucks things up. He's just not normal. And while I'm watching episodes of the baseball bunch, I'm thinking, what could be his problem? And I think I finally figured it out. He's in the wrong place. He shouldn't be in San Diego. San Diego's for the Padres. Okay, San Diego's for the Padres. There should be a priest at the ball game. But then again, fathers want to bring their little boys to the game, so they shouldn't be having a priest anywhere, right? So you can't. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. I'll tell you where you could bring them. I'll tell you where you could bring the San Diego chicken. San Francisco Giants. He should be the mascot for the San Francisco Giants, and I've got two solid reasons why. One, he's a giant fucking bird. Okay? There's nothing in the Giants lineage or history that ever dedicates the Giants name to any one particular thing or person. So sending a giant chicken over to San Francisco would be the ideal place for him, right? Makes sense, huh? And the second reason, and I'm going to bring this up in the form of a question. When was the last time San Francisco turned down a big giant cock?
What the fuck?
Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio, God damn it.
Welcome all you little zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 390 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast that is recorded in front of an undead studio audience at Castle Wolfenstein and also at the Lair of Lost Swag within the Raven Chateau. We discuss at least one film a week. We argue, we make fun of each other, and apparently we go on and on and on and on and on about the San Diego fucking chicken.
I hate the San Diego chicken.
You don't say.
You know what? Over the weekend, I was watching a shit ton of Baseball Bunch episodes on YouTube, and it just pissed me off. Just watching him doing his shit. Oh, he's got human hands. He's got a big beak, a big mouth. He doesn't use it.
You got a big mouth.
With DSLs.
It is true. You do get a big mouth.
He just fucks everything up. He's not funny. He's not entertaining.
Are you describing the chicken or yourself?
I might be describing myself. I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not sure how many folks under the age of like 35 to 40 even know who the San Diego
chicken's still around.
Who knows who the San Diego chicken is?
People in San Diego sure as hell got a pretty good idea.
And let alone the Baseball Bunch.
Yeah, nobody knows what you're fucking talking about.
Baseball Bunch was a TV show.
I know, we talked about it last week.
All right.
Nobody knows.
Did you guys see Dynasty? That's weird.
JR?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good show, but if I found the San Diego chicken on that show, I would fucking burn it.
I'd actually watch Dallas if the San Diego chicken was on it.
That'd be a show. Holy shit.
Look,
I miss Aries so much.
I know. Where the fuck is Aries?
And he's been in movies. He was in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Very relevant, but yes, he was.
He was annoying in that too. He was just fucking annoying. I hate him. Okay, I fucking hate him. And the guy who plays inside the costume, he's totally to blame for all of this.
Oh my god, you calling him out?
Yeah, I am. I forget I forget his name, but anyway, doesn't matter.
Wait, so you're saying there's only one guy that played the chicken, like Peter fucking Mayhew or like Jeremy Bullock?
Yeah,
or
just one person played him.
Well,
because he had all the rights to the chicken.
And we have a Wright's chicken farm near us. So that's weird.
Yeah, see, that would be nice. I'd like to see him die. I want to see him die in a grease fire. I hate to see him. That way I have my fried chicken and I'd be able to eat and I'd be happy.
Wow.
I fucking hate the San Diego chicken. Fucking yellow, fucking big eyes, yellow feathers, fucking blue
that
shirt.
sounds racist to me, man.
What?
Against chickens.
Not the worst thing that was said in his intro.
No, that's for sure.
I hate him. I hate him, that fucking chicken. I never liked him. I never did like him. Ever.
Ollie,
ever.
Get him to pipe down. Ollie. Where's Ollie?
Ollie's pissed.
Ollie's pissed. Jesus.
He had enough of it. No, he's somewhere else. And
I just found him so goddamn annoying.
We can relate.
Prick. Fucking, I just hate him. I hate him.
Well, to be fair,
I hope he dies. I hope he goddamn dies. Die.
Oh my God.
Die.
Jesus. This is like Dear God No all over again.
no, it's a fucking mascot. I mean,
It's a
the dude did
mascot.
a fucking job.
Yeah. He got paid to do that.
Yeah.
San Diego. Why is he in San Diego?
I don't
Never
know.
mind why does he exist to begin with? But why is he in San Diego? It makes no sense.
I don't know if baseball mascots follow the same storytelling rules as other things in literature.
Well, I mean, you got the Philly Fanatic. But he's a thing. He's just a thing. You know, he's like what's for the Philadelphia Flyers? What's his name?
Gritty.
Yeah, he's just a monster. He's just a thing. You know, the only difference is that the Philly Fanatic is the greatest mascot of all time.
Well, okay.
And I'll go to Mike Graves saying that.
Well, look, if you argued the San Diego Chicken is the most successful mascot of all time.
Yeah, he is, and I'll never understand why.
That's
never
exactly
get it.
why.
I'll never get why. I don't get the popularity of the San Diego Chicken. It just
The popularity.
and I'll never forget his birth. And I'll never forget his birth.
Oh my
Well, in the manger.
His birth.
There were
fucking
three
birth.
wise men, an umpire,
No, it was
a shortstop.
It was pretty much like Survivor Series
Oh, yeah.
Egg Hatch 1.0 version 1.0. Okay,
Who was that again? The gobbledygooker?
gobbledygooker.
Yeah.
And I find that more entertaining than the San Diego Chicken.
I just don't know if anyone even knows who that is.
Now, see, the gobbledygooker I see as being the San Diego Chicken's mongoloid cousin.
Fuck.
You know,
Fuck.
that's that.
Can we start over?
Yeah. This is
we
what
have-
happens when he doesn't ride with Aries.
He's like
Aries,
that. He's like that humpback freak from the
Jesus.
Hunchback of Notre Dame. What's
Well-
his name?
Quasimodo?
Quasimodo. Yeah.
Well-
he's like Diego's Chicken's.
Well, I got a
Quasimodo.
hunch. This is the fucking worst fucking intro of all time.
The one thing that the gobbledygooker had going for him was he was played by Hector Guerrero, so there is that.
Yeah. Now, see, if Hector Guerrero played San Diego Chicken, I don't know how it would feel. I'm sure he wouldn't be as annoying. Watch episodes of the Baseball Bunch and watch them. Just watch. You just want to punch your TV.
I just want to punch you right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's move
Because
on from
you
fucking
should see-
mascots.
You should
Jesus.
see me. I'm watching it and I'm seething and I'm like.
Did you have one of those stress balls in your hand?
I had my balls in my hand. Tears were coming out of my eyes.
Fuck. Johnny, please come back to
Two
Massachusetts.
balls and no strikes. For
Yep. Anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest because it's just
Thank the Lord. Thank the San Diego chicken that you get it off your chest.
Thank the maker.
Yeah. Jesus. So, on tonight's show, we are down Aries, and that's a shame because he definitely would have smacked you by now, I think. So, Aries is in Florida doing godlike things, I would imagine, right?
Oh yeah. I'm picturing like Aries, like, you know, in like shorts
Wait.
and like
like watermelon colored jams.
Yeah.
You know what I see? Aries,
with
like,
Mouse ears.
I want to see Aries like go and like get sunbathe, and then like takes his shirt off, and then he has like his beard there's like an outline of his beard underneath where it's still not tanned.
The Bears.
I do very well.
That would be amazing.
That would,
I want Aries on the beach photos. God damn it. Frolicking.
I bet you could ask him. Maybe he'll send you some. 8x10.
Yeah. I want that. I'm gonna text him right now.
Yeah.
picture with like Mickey Mouse ears on.
He'll send you like a picture of him giving you the middle finger.
Yeah, Brazzers. I brought a picture. Not the first one I've gotten from Aries.
Did you say Brazzers?
Ooh, hey now.
Oh,
Brazzers is awesome.
well, I didn't say Brazzers, but why do
I
you know
thought-
Brazzers?
I thought
Yeah,
you did.
why do you know? You of all people.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen the meme of people posting.
Okay. What is it then?
People posting WWE pictures, sexually suggestive WWE pictures, and then putting the Brazzers logo underneath it.
Oh yeah, we should do that on Trick or Treat Radio.
No, we don't need that.
No, I don't think
Why?
we should. Why? You got to ask?
Listen, after everything you just said, Brazzers is fucking tame.
Yeah, Brazzers tame. Brazzers with us involved is not.
Johnny, listen.
What?
I got an idea.
Okay, lay it on me.
Brazzers. All right, listen. Fuck off here. We're gonna get a bus.
Here, I'll send you. I'll send you guys one of the pictures here.
I love Brazzers.
I mean,
No,
we know.
you don't.
Yes, I do.
Yes, he
Is that your
does.
favorite site?
Is it my favorite site? No.
Yeah.
No, amateur. Of course not. Johnny.
Pornhub is. Pornhub is great.
Wow, this is gonna be a fucking guy. Miss Aries so much because now he's gonna fucking get me going, and it's gonna be.
How
a
am
whole
I going to
fucking-
get you
'Cause
going?
you're gonna
talking
fucking
about
do it.
Pornhub.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh boy, he watches Pornhub. He
No,
won't
I don't.
admit it.
No.
Bullshit. You're a fucking liar.
I just fucking know things about things. Okay.
I know things about things. I know things. Hello, I know things.
No, he says it wrong. This sucks.
Hi, Ma. I know things.
You know what's funny is I just sent a couple of those memes in the in our chat group, and Aries is the only one who sees them, so he doesn't get any. He's not getting the joke, the perspective.
I'm looking at him now.
Totally out of
Yeah.
context.
Very good. Very good. Oh. The one with Batista is pretty funny. Now, see if they put that Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I'd be all over that.
That Batista one's outrageous.
Nice. Very good. Very good.
Is that Reno Reigns? Not Reno Reigns. Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And here's the one from the boss with, is that Liv Morgan?
I don't know.
Jesus.
That last one I just sent you is my favorite though.
Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This is terrible.
This is. Can we start over?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
So I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm 20 minutes into the final episode, but out of nowhere, the final two parts of the CW's Crisis on Infinite Earths dropped on Tuesday.
Oh yeah, I've heard some. Obviously, I'm not watching, so I did read some spoilers, but I saw a few things.
Yeah, and to be fair, listen, I don't understand how in this age of internet, like I was able to dodge every, Star Wars,
Well, I know,
Infinity War.
I know how
stuff.
you can dodge them because you don't really know how to use technology all that well.
True, but here's the thing. Even still, scrolling in the feeds that I, check out. Let's put Facebook on. I scroll down. That's about the fucking magic trick.
Scroll down. Yep. Okay.
But motherfuckers are posting shit, and the episode hadn't even ended yet. That's fucking rude, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, if you're watching an episode, what are you doing flipping through Facebook?
no. I was watching the fucking a movie that we may or may not discuss tonight.
Oh, okay.
And I knew after the winter break that the programs were going to start again. But it started on Tuesday.
Look what Aries just said.
But did he really respond?
Yeah. He said, I hate all of you.
Oh, to be fair, he's actually not. He's still at home right now. He hasn't left yet. He's leaving tonight, I think. But yeah, the episode hadn't fucking ended yet, and motherfuckers are posting it. Slow it down out there.
So do you get spoiled?
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, I still have to go to work the next day.
This is of Mandalorian, right?
Thank you,
No.
Novus. Crossover.
Oh.
Infinite Crisis. So you saw the big crossover that people. Is that the one you noticed? I won't say.
Yeah. There was talk of a character
A speedster,
up
right?
here. Well, it was a character from potentially a cinematic character making an appearance.
Yeah.
And it was cool, but like, guys, fucking the show starts at fucking 8. Maybe at 8:40 you don't post just yet.
Yeah. Ollie's pissed too.
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck, dog? I speak Bijan. Well, it was cool. So I'm on the finale right now. So I got about 20 minutes left.
I heard there's some stuff at the end too. I won't say anything else, but watch carefully, I guess.
Yeah, I would suspect. But it was cool. I think we saw and this isn't, to be fair, Marv Wolfman, who was the original writer on Crisis, and one of my favorite series of all time.
Yeah, he had a cameo, right?
Teen Titans. Yeah. But he actually only had a cameo, but he was brought in to write some stuff too. So he was brought in so he definitely, shepherded this version of the crossover.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds cool. I may check out was it 5 episodes, I believe? I'm way too far behind to even dream of catching up, but I might just watch the crossover stuff. It sounds like it's been kind of cool. And Ravenshaw, did you hear the news for all Clark Sucker fans out there? There's going to be a Superman and Lois show coming to the C-Dub.
Yes. And it's pretty exciting. I've only seen this because it was a spin-off from Supergirl.
Yeah.
It was like Supergirl, Superman. And the dude's okay. It's not my first choice for even a TV Superman, but I think he does a good job.
I like him. I saw him in another movie recently, and I thought he was good in that. And I think it's a different take, obviously, but I haven't seen any of the shows with him in it, but I think he looks the part fairly well. I could see it,
No, definitely, exactly. I mean, I'm not going to knock the dude. He looks fine. For them to be, I am excited. There's going to be finally another live-action Superman TV show. Once again, there's part of me that wishes it was on a bigger budget.
Yeah.
But still.
Well, you're going to get the Green Lantern show on HBO.
Yeah. Which once again is cool, man. I mean, it's I'm not going to knock anything. Like,
you're not going to knock the San Diego Chicken? Should he get his own show?
He's on the CW, yeah.
What would that be like?
It'd be fucking, I don't know.
It would just be him pissed.
Actually,
I got it. Reality show of MZ living with the San Diego Chicken in a fucking apartment.
Oh, there would only be one person living after the first episode.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I was picturing a weird Elmer Fudd type thing going on. where like he's like a hunter trying to find the San Diego chicken outside the ballpark, but maybe yours is better.
No, I'd be like Yosemite Sam, and I'd be swearing like him too.
Rootinest, tootinest, blah, blah, blah. That's been
Dirty rat, fat, fat, dog,
Yeah.
fat.
I'm excited for a new Superman program. Let's see, fuck it. What are you gonna do? It was funny though. There is some serious power levels on some of these CW shows, and I don't think they really have the budget for some of these power levels.
Yeah, that's always sort of the challenge, I guess, when you're doing TV stuff. You know, obviously we got pretty lucky with The Mandalorian, but on Disney Plus. But yeah, like to do superheroes on like network television, it's kind of difficult with the budgets they have. You know.
And they've done a really good job. But I mean, I've seen episodes of Supergirl that had Mon-El, which is like a Kryptonian. He's a Daxamite. They can do all the shit the Kryptonians can do, but they're sick. They get lead poisoning, which is fucking dumb. So you have Mon-El, you have Martian Manhunter, and you have Supergirl. Like, why is there? What happens in the next 5 minutes of the show? You know, so it's a high power level, but I'm excited for a new Superman show. And
Yes, because it's about time too, don't you think?
Yeah, we haven't had one in a while.
It's been a while. For Christ's sake, really? Do we really need another superhero show?
that's Superman, sir. He's the first.
Superman is a superhero, douchebag.
Wait, Johnny, what? Superman is a superhero? Well,
Douchebag.
how about
Douchebag, don't forget that part.
yeah. Thank you.
How about super douche?
Thank you. Yeah,
Let's have that as a superhero.
that'll probably be on TNT, not so much. as-
Super douche. I will wash you out.
Well, all right. Let's fucking transform and roll out. They're making a fucking. They're gonna reboot Transformers now set in the 80s. You get a fucking robotic hot on for that?
Corny says.
What
Corny says that San Diego chicken would fuck up all of MZ's Transformers.
See,
he would, and he'd do it on purpose too because he's an idiot.
his tail will be going.
Yeah. No, all right. So what were you saying with the Transformers?
Did you hear that? They're doing.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I know about that.
But set in the 80s.
I like the concept of it.
Yeah.
Let's see how it looks. You know, because if it looks anything like the new Thundercats cartoon, I'm about ready to hurl a bazooka through my TV.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? I mean, I didn't see the show, but
Oh my God, what an abomination!
Well,
Jesus,
That was talked about actually like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the best they could come up with.
It's an interesting take. I mean, I love Thundercats, dude. I remember the night. It was a Friday night back in 1980, whatever the fuck, maybe 86. And my buddy, childhood friend Mike Pacelli was over. We were hanging out downstairs. We were actually going to watch The Wizard of Oz. It was going to be on at a certain time frame. Flipping channels, and the fucking Thundercats was on. Like, holy shit, what the fuck is this?
Nice.
And it was back in those days when, like, Friday nights, they would have, like, specials. Do you guys remember?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
like, I
Yeah,
remember one was the second G.I. Joe miniseries before they had the daily TV show. It was the one that introduced Flint, and it was the Weather Dominator one. And they showed the whole thing, like the whole like 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, it became episodic. They would break it down, but they would show the whole thing. Like, what the fuck is that? But Thundercats debuted in like a hour and a half, like TV movie, and it blew me a fucking away. That was a huge mark. And I know they tried to reboot it. I want to say in the
yeah, it was a few years ago, wasn't it?
Cartoon Network.
Yeah,
And it was pretty geared towards adults, right? They kind of like the animation was cool, but I don't think it really took off, or for whatever reason, it didn't continue.
Yeah, it was 2011, and they had one season.
Yeah. I just don't understand the culture of today, man. I just don't get how people think that this kind of animation sells.
Well,
I mean,
it does. It does, but for fans of Thundercats, I don't think it works. Like, it's. I mean, it has that like very childish sort of like almost like doesn't look like Adventure Time, but more
It's
sort
like
of
Thundercats Kids.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's the Thundercat, like the Flintstones kids. Now we got now we got the Thundercats Kids, and it looks awful, and it sounds awful, and the animation is awful, and the music is awful. Back in the 80s, cartoons meant something. Look at Transformers, look at Thundercats, look at G.I. Joe, look at She-Ra, for Christ's sake. And look at what we have now look at those recreations that we have today. They are nothing. They just don't have the power that cartoons in the 80s that we used to watch. It's just non-existent now. It's all cutesified and baby faced and prettied up, and you can't. Oh my fucking God! It just drives me nuts thinking about it.
Well, I mean, I know what you're saying. I mean, but that's once again.
Everything's got to look so cute and pretty.
But then again, there's still a part of me that has a hard time being 43, saying, "God damn, they're making these Thundercats cartoons for kids." Oh shit.
No, but they made those cartoons for kids back in the 80s too, as well.
Right.
But I mean, there's an obvious difference between 80s kids and today's kids. There's an enormous difference.
And I don't disagree with it. I mean, I saw that. I'm like, well, that's fucking whack. And it's 1 to 2. You would think that people who grew up with Thundercats are now working on it. But look at something like Teen Titans Go. One of my favorite comics of all times is that Wolfman Perez Titans book. Gritty, fucking. Everyone's fucking each other. They're fighting Trigon, sweat, tears. Oh yeah, there was fucking banging in those books. Wonder Girl was dating her fucking professor. He had an ex-wife. It was fucking Robin was banging a 6-foot tall orange, alien. And they dumbed it down. But it was for kids like children. It was their entry level in some of these characters. So while it's not for us, it's not what I want. But I mean, I don't disagree. Thundercats Roar looks really fucking whack.
It looks awful, and it's all because of these yuppie preening cocksucker parents who bring up these soft, flaky kids who have no idea how to enjoy something. Everything's got to be safe. Everything's got to be behind the neutral line and be safe, and everyone is just happy.
I don't agree with that. I just think I just think they just chose a style that we don't like.
And I agree with you, Johnny. Yeah. I'm. That's
but
what
how many?
Say
all right, fine. But how many times can we say that before we realize that it's? I suppose you could say.
I'm sure there's market research that went into it, and they probably thought, yeah, this is the market that we're going for, and this is the style that's gonna sell. They're not gonna just make a dumb decision and.
Oh, please don't underestimate the stupidity of people.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like I'm just going back to Titans again, where that wasn't my Titans, but a part of me was kind of excited that there are like real children now who might know who Cyborg and Raven are, So while it's not what I loved about it, it's keeping these characters to a different audience. And I don't know. I don't really watch Rick and Morty, but it seems like that's kind of where animation is.
I've never seen any I've never seen Rick and Morty. I don't know anything about them. All I know is that there's somewhat of a take on the Doc Brown.
Doc and Marty, yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, like back in 2011 when Transformers Prime came out, this was the best Transformers cartoon animated series, I should say. Nothing's a cartoon anymore. Everything's got to be made out of fucking computers. That I have seen since the original series, the original G1 series. And granted, Megatron doesn't really exactly look like Megatron. They all lack the kind of the nose, I guess you could say, on all these robots, so they do kind of look a little silly, and they don't transform as much as you would like them to. but it does have Jeffrey Combs as Ratchet, so I give him props for that. But it does give you a very good storyline, real good storylines. There is violence involved. Characters do die, okay, and it's one of the it's right behind G1. It's my favorite Transformers series. Okay,
Prime.
It does involve kids, but they're involved in serious missions as well. So it's not like they're just there for the sake of bringing in kids to enjoy Transformers. They actually have a purpose. But it's definitely the best animated Transformers series since G1, and I strongly suggest hunting it down because it's really, really good. The cast is really, really small. You don't get like 75 characters. You don't get that. You get probably at most maybe 15, maybe. But the stories are really good. The storyline is good, and it carries itself well from first episode to the very last. So definitely check it out, and I did enjoy it.
Speaking of first to last episode, I still haven't watched the season yet, but I just saw apparently Watchmen is not going to get a second season because the creator stepped away, and so they're not going to continue on, I guess, even though it got rave reviews.
Whom was the creator?
Daniel Lindelof, I think. Lindelof.
Of the show, yeah. What else did he do? Why do I know that name?
Lost,
I
think. Let me just double check. Yeah, he did Lost. That was like his big one. He's written and produced for Nash Bridges. He co-wrote Cowboys and Aliens, Prometheus, Star Trek Into Darkness, Tomorrowland, and he co-created TV series The Leftovers for HBO and Watchmen.
I thought his name sounded familiar because I liked Cowboys versus Aliens.
Yeah,
give it a chance. It's not terrible. It's
John Favreau
it's a little
directed it.
Yeah,
I'd watch it again. I couldn't get through it. I think we saw it at the drive-in.
And
it was
Lindelof was the showrunner for Lost.
Yeah, no, I liked Cowboys versus Aliens.
So
surprisingly enough, I could see why people would hate it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, my understanding is that it's a whole it's a alternate. Well, it's after the events of the book, so it's right. Am I right in that? It's
a sequel, from what I understand, or it definitely the book precedes it. So
yeah, well, then DC's doing some weird stuff with HBO. Yeah, there's supposed to be that Green Lantern show.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting.
It's fucking weird. I still feel they don't fucking know what the fuck to do. But this Time Warner must own like HBO and Cinemax, right?
Well, yeah.
They're doing.
Did you guys see that Taika Waititi might be approached to do Star Wars?
I did. How do you feel about that, MZ?
I feel pretty damn good about that, actually. Taika's awesome.
Are you going to be there with all the dorks on opening night if it happens?
Fuck no. God damn no. Jesus Christ.
I do want to see Jojo Rabbit, though.
Yeah. I didn't know he did that, but I had a buddy, my buddy Chef was talking about that for months now.
Chef from South Park?
No, he's kind of like an aging Shawn Michaels mixed with a little bit of Gordon Ramsay, but really knows a lot about bugs and the insect community. He's a fucking fascinating guy.
He and Chromecast Josh should talk.
It'd be nice. Yeah, no, I'm trying to figure out a way to get him on the show because he's fucking outrageous. But yeah, that's the one about the. Can I say it? That's the Hitler imaginary friend, right?
Yeah, why can't you say it? It's not a spoiler.
Well, spoiler alert.
Jesus.
I mean, the movie's only 50 some odd years old.
Yeah, fucking Jojo Rabbit, your life is calling.
So yeah, I mean, I'm certainly down for
Taika.
now. Will they allow Draculas in Star Wars? Who knows?
Maybe they'll allow swearwolves.
Oh, I fucking love. There was a swear wolf in the cantina.
Would that? Oh, would Chewbacca be a swearwolf?
No.
Oh, there was a wolf.
I don't know. That's something you could talk about
There's a
on your podcast, The Foreskin Sensitive.
Jesus.
What?
He
The name of it, The Foreskin Sensitive.
He directed an episode of The Mandalorian. MZ.
Taika?
Taika did, yeah. He directed the last
Did?
one. Yep.
Oh wow.
We totally talked about it in front of you.
Like I remember shit. Like I give a damn.
It was like 20 minutes we talked about it.
I pay attention to what you guys are talking about. Star Wars.
MZ, you would have liked it because stormtroopers punch Baby Yoda.
I saw that. It's all over the internet. They made a video out of it on YouTube. It's all over the place. But yeah, I saw that. He punches little Baby Yoda.
They've now fired those actors.
Yeah. Now see, that's funny.
One of them was Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah. From the what's the program?
Now see, it would be the Foreskin Sensitive if Popeye was on.
Jesus.
Now that I think about it. Yeah.
He's gonna beat that.
Put
to the
Popeye.
ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Foreskin Sensitive. Well, come on. How can you not?
Yeah,
Just don't have Popeye on the show, and it won't be called the Foreskin Sensitive.
Johnny.
It's plain and simple. Well, don't. Well.
Yeah, keep going.
Well,
Come on.
Well, my foreskins intact, so's my urinary tract, says Popeye the Sailor Man.
This is terrible.
Wow.
This is not good.
Popeye had a big impact on MZ as a little one.
Huh?
And Popeye had a big impact on you as a little one. You might not be sitting in that chair right now if it wasn't for Popeye.
No, I'd be someplace better right now.
I fucking hate Popeye.
You hate Popeye? Why, 'cause he's vegan?
Yeah, there's no proof that he ate meat.
Yeah.
All he ate was spinach.
Damn, yeah. No.
That's,
Yeah, I was never a Popeye mark, man.
No?
I dig Popeye. I never cared for the 60s cartoons because it tried to be too modern. I hated that shit. I mean, it's a good cartoon when you look back on it now, but back then when I was watching it, it was like, oh, God, it's just not what I'm used to. You know, I'm used to like the 1930s and 40s.
Yeah, they would like swear like, "Hey, motherfucker, fucking up." Yeah.
No, but I mean, the
They were, like,
animation was so good. The animation back then was so fucking good. Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. Oh my God, when Popeye, it was like one of the best they've ever done. It's like one of the most talked about cartoons of the 40s.
It was very fluid animation.
Gorgeous animation.
Yeah.
Gorgeous animation. And, and you got the goons and you got Bluto, or was he Brutus back then? I don't know. But, Olive Oil and Sweet Pea and Wimpy. I mean, it was that to me was Popeye. And it was the black and red Popeye. It was the black and red Popeye, not the blue and white Popeye that came up in later years. Oh, great stuff.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm looking at a picture of the old Popeye right now.
Good stuff.
From 1938 to 1940. 31 theatrical shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Good stuff, too.
All right, so I didn't even talk about what we're doing tonight. I should do that. Pretty easy. We're doing a movie. That's what we're doing. We're doing a film called The Sonata. We'll be talking about that this evening in just a little bit, actually. And then we did end up getting a voicemail. So we do have one voicemail. If anyone is listening live and wants to send some feedback, you can go ahead, send it to podcast@trickortreatradio.com. Always love hearing from you. Email, voicemail, whatever you want to do. And if you guys have yet to do so, we would appreciate a review. So wherever you listen to us, most places have a way to review shows. And if you listen on Apple Podcasts, that's the one that we get the most listens on. Go ahead, hit the 5 stars, and then just below it, it'll say write a review, and then click it, and then add your thoughts about the show. Tell people what you dig, what they might enjoy about it, and it'll help other people find the show. So we'd appreciate that. And there is a few ways you can support us. The easiest way is to head to patreon.com/trickortreatradio, and on there you're going to find a few ways you can help support the show for $2. For as little as $2 a month, you can help support and keep the show going. If you guys want to get exclusive audio content every month, we put out a episode exclusive to Patreon. It's I don't think we'll ever release them any other way. So as of now, we've got I think 5 or 6 out there. So and we're actually we'll be talking about what we're going to be doing for February. So I got some ideas, and there's a chance, I think I mentioned to you guys, that I'll be up there. So if we can make it work, maybe we could do another commentary or something that involves us all being in the same room together. So looking forward to that. But if you guys want to jump in on that, go ahead, check out patreon.com/trickortreatradio. We would appreciate any and all support that you can give. Also, there's a few other ways you can support. Go to trickortreatradio.com, scroll down, look for the Amazon logo, click it. Everything you purchase in that session, it's going to bring you right to Amazon. Everything you purchase will get attributed to us. It doesn't cost them any extra, Michael Ravenshadow.
But it's another way to help keep the lights on.
So you're going to shop on Amazon anyways. You do your monthly subscriptions, whatever, what have you. You do your, monthly shopping. I don't know. What would you buy monthly on Amazon, Ravenshadow? Is there something you buy often that you'd get from Amazon?
Probably groceries.
Yeah? Like what kind? Milk?
Yeah. Celeste, a couple of Hot
Mama
Pockets.
Celeste.
Yeah, some Polio string cheese.
You eat string cheese?
Yeah.
They still make that?
In Everton, yeah.
Do you eat it like you eat your bananas?
Yeah. I can't picture you otherwise. Yeah.
No, I do not.
It's a smaller version of a banana.
It was a time I bring a little yogurt, bring a little string cheese to work, a little combination instant breakfast. Yeah.
You're definitely a picture of nutrition, my friend.
Oh, I'm the fucking before.
or the after, depending on.
Or the after, yeah. Yeah, no, my diet is a fucking. You want a fucking horror film? Yeah, put that on fucking Shudder. Look at my fucking refrigerator. I'm a fucking master of horror. Fuck you, Carpenter.
Master of horror, yeah.
Yeah. My grocery receipt is a fucking master of horror. Fucking knock Stephen King out the box.
So everyone go check out on
so bad
Shudder, Michael Ravenshaw's shopping list.
Yeah. Grocery list.
And also you can on trickortreatradio.com, we got some digital content. We got the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio volumes 1 through 3. You can find them on there. And there's a handful of other things on the site. If you want to check it out, go ahead and check it out. Help support us, keep us going. And all right, Ravenshadow, you sit down to watch the Sonata. What do you do to prepare for this film?
Oh man,
Did you brush up on your French?
Oui, yeah. No, I mean I'm not French, but I definitely kiss that way. I'll tell you that much.
I can vouch for him.
Wow. Someone get the Brazzers. Someone get the Brazzers.
So much strap on.
Someone get the Brazzers logo for this.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. I don't like that
You
at
go
all.
through your week with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it.
The Chromecast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories
With your hosts, John,
Josh,
and Luke.
we have action.
horror,
An adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
find your pulp life at thechromecast.blogspot.com.
The Chromecast.
The Chromecast.
The Chromecast!
a podcast for the barbarian at heart.
This is Matt Kennedy of Astron 6. You might know me as Manborg. You might know me as Father John Sullivan in Father's Day. But what's important right now is that you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
I can tell you I'm never coming back on this show. Especially now that I did that thing that you just didn't do. Which I will be sending you an invoice for.
We have returned on Trick or Treat Radio. At least me and MZ have.
Yep.
Just us, MZ.
Yep. Just you and I.
So we're going to talk about the film. Sure. What's up?
I'm just saying that should change shortly.
Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should lock the door.
Yeah. What? Maybe I should.
All right. So we're going to talk about the Sonata. And this film just popped up onto VOD on the 10th of January. So you can check it out anywhere VOD is available. It is 90 minutes. It doesn't appear to be rated. It is a mystery thriller. And it is directed by Andrew Desmond and written by Andrew Desmond and Arthur Morin. And it stars Freya Tingley, Simon Abkarian, James Faulkner, Rutger Hauer in a little cameo, and Catherine Schaub Akbarian. The synopsis: a young violinist unravels her long-lost father's past, triggering dark forces that reach beyond her imagination. All right, so this is a film it didn't really have a pedigree coming in. It didn't have any stars aside from Rutger Hauer, of course, that I was aware of, or even the director. So Andrew Desmond, he actually did a short on an anthology called Galaxy of Horrors that was on my radar a couple years ago. And obviously we didn't end up doing it for the show, but it looked like it was pretty interesting. And I heard some mixed things about it, but
Wolfie?
Yes.
Wolfie?
Yeah.
I can't hear a single word you're saying. That music is just driving me nuts.
You're driving me nuts. Well,
no,
it's off now, right?
Yeah, it's off now. It was just kept on playing and playing and playing and playing.
Yeah, because I'm talking over it, man.
Well, it doesn't do us any good if we can't hear you.
Well, the people can. You can't.
I can't. I think it's kind of important that I hear you. Dude.
I don't think so.
All right. All right.
So anyways, I was talking about the director's previous work. He did on Galaxy of Horrors. He did a short on that. And so this is his feature film debut, The Sonata.
Mm.
And as I mentioned, I kind of want to find out, was this has to be one of Rutger Hauer's last roles, if not his last.
No, he's got a bunch of other roles.
He's got
like
some other ones. Okay.
Yeah, he's got like 6 or 7 other ones before after this one.
Okay. But it certainly is one of his last.
No, he's got like 10 more roles after this.
Jeez.
Yeah.
He really loaded him up, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in all, he had 173 acting credits. So
yeah, it's pretty nuts.
guy was busy till the end.
Yep. But yeah, so we get a cameo from Rutger Hauer. He plays an important part, but he's not in it a ton. But so yeah, as I mentioned, this is a film I didn't really know a ton about. It just sounded like it was sort of interesting, and there was not a lot of options really. I mean, like this has been one of the weirdest Januaries I can remember. In the past, we've typically done like kind of a mix because January seems to be just a weird month. People don't want to release new stuff, it seems like, or it's like the dumping ground, if you will. So, but yeah, this one just looked like it was kind of interesting. It reminded me a little bit when I read the synopsis that it could be kind of like The Perfection, but it turned out that it didn't. It just had the music and violin in it. So I guess there could be some similarities there. But to me, these are completely different films and shouldn't even be compared beyond that. So. So let's jump into this. I guess we'll get some initial thoughts. I think that I actually loved the pre-credit sequence in this. I thought it was really compelling, and it had it was like a first person kind of perspective, which I thought was really pretty effective.
Yeah, cool, like first person shooter.
Yeah. It definitely
like,
had that
like
video game vibe, the way, especially because you see, I mean, it's not just the perspective of the first person, but it's also the hand holding onto something in the lower right-hand corner. So it does give that first person shooter vibe. And I was really praying that this would be like that throughout the whole movie, kind of like Hardcore Henry or something like that.
I almost thought that. I was kind of like, okay, because even like the way it was shot seemed kind of like just different enough where and you go down and also going down like the weird like crypt keeper like castle or whatnot. And what the fuck is this?
Well, and it's always a little weird because we watch some films that have actually done that in the past. I can't remember what film it was, but I think it was a film we did last year or the previous year. And it started out as a first-person perspective. And for me, it kind of threw me off because I was expecting that throughout the film. But in this, it was almost like it wasn't really a flashback per se. It was just a setup. So when the film actually starts, we're after the events of this. So, but in a sense, I thought it felt different enough where it wasn't jarring that the film wasn't going to be shot that way, because it wouldn't have been very effective, I don't think, in at least the way that it played out if they had followed through with that that conceit all the way through. But I think that there's probably some reasons, because that was Rutger Hauer's character, so maybe he wasn't available to shoot that scene is one of the things that I thought, and also just to get kind of a different perspective, because it was kind of spooky, especially when he lights himself on fire,
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with not being able to obtain Hauer for this scene, because I mean, he's in the movie, he's visually in the movie for a couple of minutes, but the rest of the time that he's in it, it's all through audio tape.
Yeah, I mean, none of this he didn't have to be on set for this.
Yeah, I don't think any of the stuff he needed to be. Yeah,
this is his last film, right?
No. We just talked about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you weren't too busy smoking and prettying up your hair there, princess, you'd know these things.
I was too busy.
So no, it's not.
No. Was it like a fucking Tupac? How many movies are fucking coming out?
MZ
I know, right?
He's got like 8 more.
He's got like 8 or 10 more. I know. He's like the Jimi Hendrix of filmmaking.
Well, I think Tupac.
He puts out 3 albums. Hendrix puts out 3 albums and puts out 75 after he dies.
Yeah, well, they fucking.
I think the Tupac one's more apt.
Hospital.
And Tupac. Gee.
He was a rapper.
Jesus Christ! Thank you. All right,
I'm trying to help MZ.
Yeah. He needs a lot of help, but I think he's beyond help right now. So we got a cool, I really dug the opening scenes of this, and then we get that scene when he lights himself on fire, and the hands come out, and I thought it actually looked pretty good. Like I know that could be difficult to do, Yeah, and make it look pretty good. But I thought they did a good job of making that look fairly realistic.
That pre-credit sequence was, it was admirable.
Yeah,
I liked it. I mean, given what it was, I thought it was pretty well shot. I thought the ambiance in that minor, not minor scene, but small scene was very effective.
It set the tone. I mean, it was like a first-person flame on.
Yeah,
like it was.
Yeah, no, I dug it.
So we get into the meat of the film after that, and we find out that Rose, played by Freya Tingley, I've never, I don't think I've seen her in anything. Do you guys? Let's see. I guess she was in Hemlock Grove, and she was in a show called Once Upon a Time. So those are things that people may have recognized her from, but I don't I don't think I've ever seen her.
I know her. I mean, I know her of things of movies that she's been in that that I've heard of. Once Upon a Time, Jersey Boys, but I've never seen any of those. So
yeah,
but I've heard of them.
Once Upon a Time was like the fairy tale show, right?
Yeah, it was TV show, yeah.
Which is very funny to me. And I'll real quick. I remember when I think ABC was going to adapt Fables by DC Vertigo, and some reason that deal fell through. But then all of a sudden, a couple of years later, they did Once Upon a Time. It's like,
no, I don't think it was Once Upon a Time. I think it was another show.
But there was some.
They came out around the same time.
But no, I'm saying is that Fables didn't end up happening for ABC, but I'm pretty sure ABC did Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, you might be right. I might be thinking of something else. I thought that there was another show that became, that was originally going to be Fables, and then became but it looks like it was Once Upon a Time. So. Yeah,
it had what's his face? Robert Carlyle was Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So she played Wendy. I don't know.
As in Peter Pan?
No, Wendy Darling was her name. I don't know.
And then, for me, I thought she was like 12 when we first see the character.
Yeah,
maybe she just looks.
And maybe, yeah. So in the film, we cut to present day, and I think it opens with her in the studio. Is that right? Yeah, she's recording a violin piece in the studio, and then her manager comes in and breaks the news to her about her dad, and then she's completely like emotionless, and she's like, "Okay, let's continue with the take." He's like, basically like, "I just told you your father died," and you know, apparently she didn't really know him, and he left her at an early age, and so seemed like there was definitely some resentment there, you know.
And I like that. It was like, nope, I can't deal with this now. You can't fucking deal with this now. You know, and I liked her agent too. He kind of reminded me of like a Alfred Molina kind of dude.
Yeah, it's exactly what I thought too.
Yeah, I was thinking Alfred Molina.
Right?
I was also thinking Gabriel Byrne a little bit.
Yeah, I could see that. So I liked their interaction, and she's like a savant. And then obviously the revelation of what her lineage is comes out.
Yeah, so the manager is played by Simon Akbarian, which I thought he was also pretty good in this. And you could tell he's a manager, and he definitely is sort of like he's waiting for the big break. And you know, he's sort of a little bit, we don't find this out till a little bit later, but he's a little predatory in sort of his practice and what he's trying to do. You know, obviously he's trying to be helpful to his clients, but he's also trying to like make it big, and he sees some promise in her, and you know, so he sort of is a little, I don't know, overbearing, I guess is a good way to put it as a manager. And so he basically tells her about her dad, and they go and deal with the will, or there wasn't a will, and she inherits the house and everything else and all this stuff. And then it turns out that we find out that her father was a pretty famous composer in terms of like they related him to what, Syd Barrett? Is that the one that they used?
I think so.
Comparison, Syd Barrett from Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Being sort of like an avant-garde, like sort of musician who is like a genius, but people don't necessarily get, or whatever, like a visionary, I guess, in a sense, but not like hugely popular. So
Yeah.
I thought
because it kind of embodies that saying of isn't being misunderstood the hallmark of true genius.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so, I think that was a good way to put it, because I mean, I understand Syd Barrett, and he died fairly early on and didn't continue, and Pink Floyd continue on without him, and ended up being way more popular because they were a little bit more mainstream. But early Pink Floyd is fucking bizarre shit. I don't know if you guys ever listened to it, but
I have.
There's some pretty out there stuff. So he definitely was avant-garde and out there and doing some different stuff. So it was a good comparison, and it at least allowed me to understand more about him. And he was like that for classical music, this sort of like avant-garde artist who people was misunderstood, and was a great musician but didn't really care about the fame. He just wanted to create great music, was sort of the thing. So, and he was played by Rutger Hauer, although once again we don't see Rutger Hauer until later on in the film, so we don't actually know that he's the dad for a little bit. But and then we find out all the stuff that she gets, and then she goes to the dad's house and is kind of looking around and sees some stuff, and then there's some music, like a sheet music that she finds, and it's got some weird symbols on it, and then the manager, I may be missing a step here, but I think she dropped him before that, right? Like she's like, yeah, I wanna make it, I feel like you're holding me back or whatever, and so I'm gonna, I'm done with you.
Well, that's fair. I mean, like he's also the only one that's privy to the cause of the father's death as well.
True. Yeah, he withheld that. He didn't tell her mostly because he thought that it would be a little bit too much for her to handle. But clearly, she didn't really give a fuck. So,
and he clearly states that he's the only family that she has. Obviously, the mother has passed, estranged from the father. We don't know if they've ever really what their level of interaction is, but
yeah,
she's him, and basically he's like the Paul Giamatti of NWA. Like he's like the manager before you get the real manager type guy. He's like the
yeah,
WN.
He's like the
NWA.
This is a baseball reference for MZ, but he's like the Buck Showalter, right? He's the one that gets you to like be good enough, and then you fire him, and then you bring someone else in who's going to get you the World Series.
Yeah. It's the point. She's like, yeah, everyone, you don't have any clients. Everyone, he's like the mid card guy. And she signed with like a big agency.
And he knows how good she is, but he keeps knocking her back. He keeps telling her that you're good, but you're not that good, just to keep her around so he can have a paycheck.
And it's kind of like, it's kind of
it was completely self-serving.
It was. I think it was he is gaslighting her a little bit.
I'm still fuzzy on what that means, because I feel it's a new word that means something beforehand.
It's when you convince someone. It's basically what MZ just said. He's trying to convince her that she's something she's not. If you keep
isn't that lying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then why make a different name?
Because it's a very specific thing. You're not telling a lie is something someone can sniff out.
Yeah.
But
it's fucking pound sign.
Raven Shadow, you're not as good as you really think you are.
That is true.
I can vouch for that. You know what? I can vouch for that too.
Raven Shadow, you're a little too big for your britches. I think try to think of some other ways to gaslight you here. It happens.
You know what? I don't think you smoke enough.
Oh, allow me to retort.
Well, it's mostly in instances that I've seen. It's mostly done from a male perspective, because men typically hold some power over women, and a lot of times a guy will be like, in a relationship, that's when it probably happens the most. Our president gaslights the fucking people all the time, but it's in essence like, if you said I don't like the way if you said to me, hey Wolfie, I don't like the way you produce, or something like that, and then I was like, well, and then I came back and tried to basically like circumvent what you're trying to say and make it sound like you're the issue. Oh, well, I try my hardest, but when I'm dealing with a talent like you, it's really difficult to do what I do, and turn it around so that you think you're the problem, and then you believe that. That's gaslighting.
I think everything you're saying is true.
Wait, you think I'm a bad producer?
No, I thought you were saying I'm the problem.
Well, if I was gaslighting you, I would say that.
No,
but
I think you produce really well.
That's when you basically like when you turn it around on someone and then make them believe that they're the problem. So it's
what
not
was that
it's
called
not lying.
5 years ago.
What's that?
Gaslighting.
It was not called. What was it called back in 10 years ago? What was it called in 98?
Oh God.
Really? It was called being deceitful and manipulative.
Then why not just say manipulative?
Because it actually has a name now.
Yeah.
But I thought it had a name when it was called manipulation.
Are we really going to get into this?
And it's also
really going to get into this. Are we going to start talking about euphemisms now?
Corny.
Don't talk to Corny. He's not going to talk to you.
It was pound sign.
Oh my God.
Why is it hashtag
Raven Shadow?
now?
Language.
It's like a Pokemon.
Language
it evolved.
Language changes.
Yeah.
All right, so fine. So now you're
if
fucking
there's a term for a specific
Charizard.
Thing, no. So and actually, T-Dog just sent me some thoughts.
Shit, she's pissed.
It's
Sorry,
also
T-
making someone making someone believe they're crazy or that what is happening as a result of anxiety or some mental issue they have. So turning it around and making it sound like it's something that they do, like a delusion, you know. And if it's repeated, they might think that it's actually true. If you keep saying it, it's going to be true. That's gaslighting.
I still feel it's manipulation, but okay.
Well, sure, but it's a more specific definition of it. Manipulation can mean a bunch of different things.
Can we get back to the movie?
It sounds like
he won't let us.
Oh no! Fine. You win. It's fucking gaslighting.
Oh, now you're gaslighting me.
Gotham by gaslighting. Fine.
It's in the dictionary, buddy. Look it up.
Yeah, the dictionary.
And you know what the definition is?
I'm fascinated.
Manipulate by psychological means into questioning their own sanity. So it is manipulation, but there's that twist of questioning their own sanity.
Shit.
So it's worse.
I don't even know. All right, so yeah. So I don't know, man. He tried.
He tried. That's what you got to say after all that.
But to be fair, I mean, she kind of fucking didn't say things.
The thing is that she's got that she realizes and she knows, and actually Charles, her agent, knows, is that he is her agent.
Yeah. She
can fire him whenever she damn well pleases.
And she also is not a great person either.
Yeah, no, she's kind of, I don't know if that word's changed, but I know the word I was going to say. It might be something different nowadays.
Well, say it.
Say it. Itchy. It rhymes with itchy.
Oh, my God.
Right? No, I mean, she kind of was a little fucking rude a little bit, too. And she's got some problems. I know she's
not super likable. Let's say that.
Yeah, thank you. She's hard to, she's not soft.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
she's
abrasive. She's abrasive.
Where's it?
There, take your flip flops off.
Yeah, yeah.
Not a fool.
Put a shirt on.
Yeah. Or not. But
or
still.
not. Yeah, whatever. Your choice.
I picture Aries in one of those like a giraffe, like tube.
Giraffe Evans.
Like high socks for some reason.
A giraffe.
Yeah,
Can we get back to the movie?
Water thing,
I'm not entertaining this. Can we get back to the movie, please?
With a cap on.
Oh my God.
Can we please get back to the movie? Thank you.
All right. Don't gaslight me, bro.
It might be a contender. So he is in a sense sort of like trying, and he's being manipulative, Raven Shadow, to try to keep her under his wing as the manager. So
Like the San Diego chicken.
like the San Diego chicken, yes,
Under his wing.
yeah, under the San Diego chicken wing. And at the same time, he also finds this piece of music. Like I think Rose brings it to his attention. She's like, I found, because she trusts him still, even though she wants to like leave him as a manager. So she brings this to him and says, hey, I found this piece of music, but it doesn't, it's his last sonata that he never released, that he's been working on for a while. And so now we have the manager that's sort of like trying to track down some information about it, and he brings it to another musician who used to be his client as well, and he sort of looks at it and he's like, oh, this is beautiful. Like he said some of the movements are, the others are kind of plain and boring, so he sees that there's something going on here, but it's not fully formed, it seems.
And that was kind of cool too, where here's an example of what she was talking about, where somebody that he had early on that obviously, kind of kicked him to the curb.
Yeah, went on to be something.
So it was like, hey, you fucking owe me, dude. Fucking, I start, you look into it, but like maybe Charles is the one that got him there.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it doesn't really say for sure, but I guess it could be assumed as much. So
I think he only said, "Oh, my old agent."
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I think it kind of reinforced what she was saying, but he's like, "Oh, but if you don't tell me who made this, I can't help you."
Yeah.
So because what's not mentioned, which I think is pretty important, is not only was it Rose? She inherited all the rights to Rucker Howard's music,
yeah,
which is a huge fucking score.
Oh,
right?
Nice pun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Because it's score. That's pretty funny, Johnny. I didn't think of that.
Of course you didn't.
Yeah.
Fuck yourself. I mean, it's fucking payday, and it's important to know that he didn't know that she was the daughter of,
Yeah.
Beethoven, Blind Fury,
and on this these,
Blind Toby Beethoven,
and on these the music sheet music rather, there are these symbols,
right.
These 4 different symbols, and Rose is trying to figure out what these mean, brings them over to Charles. Charles is trying to figure out what they mean. He has no clue, so they go over to meet up with Sir Victor, who was a student of Richard Marlowe's.
Or he was fascinated by him or something like that. So he ended up knowing him fairly well.
He was great. I like that dude.
Yeah, he was played by James Faulkner.
Just a game, Faulkner.
He was Randall Tarley in Game of Thrones. He was also in Downton Abbey. And apparently he was in Atomic Blonde. I haven't seen it yet, but he's been in a lot of shit. So, but yeah, he was. I liked his role in this as well. I thought it was real good. And so, up to this point, we're starting to see some kind of spooky shit going on at the house, but nothing like just a hint of things. And then at this point, when Charles goes to talk to Sir Victor starts talking about some, I can't remember the name of the order, but it was like a cult that.
The Familia Order or something, Familia Order or something like that.
Familial Order or something, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, Familial Order, yeah, and it turns out that Marlowe is really into dark. Sort of witchcrafty.
It's sort of a cult. A cult almost meets like a cult meets like a almost like Masonic, like Mason sort of like type of thing maybe. secret society. Maybe they don't really like mention a ton about it, but Sir Victor has a book about it, which is interesting, and they start going through. And apparently, the house that Rose just inherited from her dad Marlowe was formerly owned by some of the leaders of this cult or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's it's kind of interesting, and we get these interesting symbols. Like I'm kind of a fan of like things like this kind of decoding this mystery, and there's this whole idea of is it spoiler to say what he was trying to do with the music? He was trying to summon something. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And
use music to.
Yeah, because the Sir Victor, he does meant. Yeah, I don't think it's all that. I mean, because if you, I don't think it's all that spoilery.
It's not
to
really
be perfect.
spoilery. It wouldn't give anything. Yeah, it wouldn't really give much away.
Well, Victor was given the impression that certain notes played in a certain way at a certain pitch in a certain time summons the demons.
Yeah, and it's a way to communicate because you can't use words. You have to use music to communicate with them.
To communicate demons and communicate with the dead. And this was something that Marlowe believed in. And he tried to use this type of music making into his sonata.
Yeah, I mean, music conjuring, supernatural force is nothing new. I mean, fucking rock and roll and devil's music.
Right, and we saw it in Devil's Candy, right?
Yeah.
We've seen some others that deal with this, and I actually dig it because I mean, obviously as a fan of music and someone who's written music at certain points and studied music at certain points in my life, there is a language. It is a language, So what's that?
The language of love.
Language of love. So
language of love.
It is a language, and if you don't understand, like for instance, the former client, I think his name was James. When he looked at the sheet music, he could read it in essence, and he knew what it would sound like. If you guys, I mean, I'm way out of practice, so I couldn't either now. But like, if either you guys looked at sheet music, you wouldn't know what the fuck that means. You would just see dots on paper, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But someone who understands how to read it can kind of hum along and imagine what it sounds like, and that's kind of a cool thing. And so it is, in a sense, a different language and one that a lot of people understand, but a lot don't either. So, I think it's cool. And I like sort of these sort of like decoding symbols and stuff like that. I mean, it can be contrived at times, and it was a bit contrived in this, especially with like where they found the symbols in the house. Like some of them were cool, but it almost seemed a little too convenient at times, and it was like they found them really quickly, So it was just like, But
especially when they made a point to say, "How are we going to find all these symbols?"
Yeah, exactly.
Where we just have to be in those same 4 rooms in this giant fucking Xavier mansion.
Yeah, exactly. So
I kind of felt it was done a little bit too easily myself.
Yeah, so it's not really a big deal, but it's just one of those things. I mean, in a 90-minute movie, you have to make some concessions. So, I get it, but it just seemed a little too convenient in the way that they were. I would have liked to see them spread out a little bit more, maybe. But regardless, they made sense, and it made sense to the music how they made sense. Like how they fit in, I guess. So, it did seem a little convenient, but in the end, I understood what they were going for. So I thought that was kind of cool. And especially how you were supposed to actually play the music. Like, I thought that was interesting, the way that they had kind of put it together. So, so I think it was, overall, I thought that whole sort of puzzle aspect of it was done fairly well. If not a bit contrived. But, and at this point, we have Rose, who is kind of like the one experiencing some of this creepy shit. Like, she goes into like that like farmhouse or whatever, like for like deeper in the woods.
Oh shit!
In the property, and we got some pretty maybe I won't say this because I think it's kind of like one of those cool, spooky things if you don't know what's coming. So, but there's some pretty deplorable shit that happened there,
Really fucking deplorable shit.
Yeah.
That was not fun.
But it led to a pretty cool scene. I thought it was pretty spooky, at least, I thought it was well done. And then she's just kind of like, fuck this. I don't want this. I don't want to do this. Fuck. And then this is the point where there's a little bit of a little split between the manager and Rose. And you can sense that this is Charles kind of finding his like big break. Like, this is what I've been waiting for. This is the thing that's going to make us.
And I felt I kind of missed something there a little bit with some of that when that part happened. Is this spoiled?
He just, maybe he didn't miss anything, but it just like he just saw that this is our way to, because this is the lost Sonata of Marlowe that it's his life's work, and
yeah,
and Rose was like, yeah, I don't want to fuck with this anymore, and he's like, no, we're gonna do it, and so
this is his big break. It was mentioned to him. They said it was this is your big break. Better late than never.
Yeah. So he was kept pushing for it, and Rose wanted to back away, and so he started to get a little bit more manipulative, Raven Shadow, and he also was being kind of an evil dick as well, like at parts.
Yeah.
You don't think he had help? Was it all him?
Yeah, I think it was all him.
Yeah, it was definitely all him. He was just, I guess you could say he was somewhat seduced by the music.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
And so, there's not too much more to say without like just flat out giving the ending away. But obviously, we're going to hear this song, and I don't know who wrote the music, but I think that it lived up to expectations, because when you have this when you keep going through this and finding out more and more about this piece, and it's a puzzle and it has all these different elements to it. Like, I liked how the fire like actually was more than just a way to decode the music. It was a way to play it with passion, and I thought that some of that imagery was cool the way they did it. And when she did play it, I was like, okay, this is a pretty cool fucking piece, And I thought it lived up to that hype, because that's one of those things where it could be a huge letdown if it's just like a like a shitty piece of music, So
it's like watching Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure with Wild Stallions, and the end credits is fucking, God gave rock and roll to us. It's not the hyped up fucking music.
Well, it's the music. Now, I know nothing about music.
Yeah.
I know jack dick about music. Nothing.
Def Leppard.
Okay, I just know what I like.
Fair.
Okay, and in the Sonata itself, you could tell that it starts off slow, like I guess violin sonatas usually do, but then it starts picking up a pitch. It starts picking up tempo. It starts picking up speed. So it's almost though as if the music is actually telling a story.
Oh
Sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I thought it was good, and once again, like, that's a lot of that is contingent on that song, and if that song sucked, then it just might be kind of a letdown. Like, oh, that's it. Like, that's what we were, like, that's what we were waiting for. So I think that it was not a letdown, and I thought it was well done, and I thought that it was definitely a different kind of piece. It felt evil at points, So I actually really dug that.
It was kind of scary too, and I still that I think music is probably one of the hardest art forms to do for real, to believe and to truly feel.
Yeah, because you're right in a sense, because anyone can play that, but without the feel, it's gonna sound different. Like, you can just play the notes, but if you don't have the emotion and the feel behind it, it's gonna be a little different sounding. So I do
when you know something.
Yeah. Like, if you hear a cover song, or like, you could hear like go to see a cover band and you see him playing the same exact song but it's hardly ever the same, right? Like you might get into it or something, but it's not the same because they didn't write it. They don't know what went behind creating that song and everything. So
Right.
it's almost impossible to know. It's in a sense, and maybe this is a bad analogy, but I remember we did that, the Divine Fury, and remember we had a dubbed movie, and I always like to hear the original acting with subtitles.
Yep.
Because you're getting what the director initially wanted, whereas when you're listening to voice actors who re-record for, localize it for another country, you're getting you're not getting the same director. You're getting, maybe he's giving notes and saying, this is what I wanted out of this character, and then giving it to a voice director, and then he is directing or she is directing. So I think that, it's almost that secondhand sort of thing where you can listen to a song over and over and over and think you understand where they're coming from, but you have no fucking clue. And you can play the same notes, but it's just not going to sound the same,
Right. I think to truly feel passion, you can't fake music.
Yeah.
I think you can't fake. I think being a musician and being a true stand-up comic are some of the hardest things to do in the world. You can fake almost anything else, but those are some of the most purest things where if you're fucking off, it's not going to be fucking right.
As we know, you can fake wrestling.
Yeah, no, but you can half-ass a movie, you can half-ass something, but
Still real to me, damn it.
but music is so passionate, when it's bad, but when it's fucking good.
Yeah.
Anyone can be in, sensitive points to a hippie guy at a fucking college, fucking campfire and play a couple tracks acoustically. But listen to fucking Prince in concert, Cliff Burton's bass solo, or whatever the fuck, to throw things out there.
Yeah, or just for an RIP, for rest in peace, Neil Peart from Rush.
Yeah, right.
And no, and this is no offense at all to your brother, MZ. Your brother was a phenomenal drummer, and I know Neil Peart was one of his heroes.
Oh yeah, big time.
And your brother was in a Rush cover band, and they were really good. But you just can't, Neil Peart is fucking like a legend, and
he's on a whole different level. He's up there with like Buddy Rich, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, and I'm not a Rush fan, but fucking Neil Peart's fucking Neil Peart.
Everyone knows Neil Peart, whether you like Rush or not. So I mean, there's virtuoso musicians who know exactly what they're doing and have that feel behind what they're doing. And this, once again, this movie could have really kind of taken a step back if it didn't have that really good composition. And because they've been talking about it all fucking movie, it's like that. It's almost in a sense like a Chekhov's gun times 10.
Right.
Because everything in this movie ends up leading to this sonata, this song. And if it's not good, it's like, this is what we've been trying to decode this whole fucking time,
Right. It's the monster reveal.
Yeah.
It's the
you're right.
Hero getting his powers. It's the whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? It's that.
That's exactly what it is. It's the monster reveal, and we've been building up to it and getting glimpses of it, and then we finally get the glimpse, and it was good for me, anyways. I don't know if you guys agree, but
Yeah, put on my fucking iPod. I'm gonna fuck.
put it on my iPod. I want Raven. I was like, can I get that in my ringtone?
Yeah. Can I buy a CD?
Hey, can you put that in my ringtone?
Yeah. Johnny, make that song on my phone. What button do I press?
And there were some cool things that, obviously we won't talk about what happens when she plays the song, but there's some cool stuff, I think. And, this
What are you gonna do? Yeah.
This to me, and I guess we're getting into the kind of the wrapping up phase, is this was almost like a really good Twilight Zone, or maybe not quite Twilight Zone, didn't have that feel, but sort of like an anthology that maybe
It felt a lot like burns. I got a lot of cigarette burns out of this.
Yeah, that maybe doesn't work perfectly as a feature film. I think it ended up being a good movie. I did enjoy this for the most part, but I think it's a really good sort of, if this was in an anthology, and it was maybe a little bit shorter, I think that would have been really good,
Well, it was already
Yes.
at an 87-minute point. There was a lot of padding in this movie, I felt.
Yeah.
I think mostly in the maybe the walking around, some of the atmosphere type stuff. Walk over here.
Yeah.
Take a bath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do kind of need that stuff. You need some a respite between the other things going on. So I never mind that, but I think that I don't mean to diminish the film by saying that either. I just think it's a solid idea for an anthology short, maybe a 30-minute one or something like that. But as a film, I still think it worked, but there definitely was some padding in there that could have maybe, even at 87 minutes, I don't know, maybe even 80 minutes or something like that. But regardless, it didn't really take away for me. But I think it's just a solid idea to do as something like that. But I think the performances were pretty good too. I dug. I thought Freya Tingley in this was good. She played sort of this, kind of disinterested, that whole disinterested artist kind of thing. Sure. And I think we talked about Charles, played by Simon Akbarian, he portrayed this well, and we had some cool.
Who looks nothing like he does in his IMDb picture, by the way.
No.
which is when I saw him, I'm like, holy shit, that's the same guy.
Yeah, that mustache.
The only way you could tell, and the only way you could tell it's the same guy is by the birthmark on his neck.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See the birthmark mainly on his neck in that movie, and there it is in his IMDb page, and that's him. But you'd never, ever, ever guess in a million years that was him.
Oh shit.
Well, was there anything else before we head to a verdict that you guys wanted to bring up about this? Anything we hadn't talked about? Nah. Okay.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right. Verdict time. We're going to let you know whether the Sonata was a trick or a treat and any final thoughts we may have. Barry Chetto.
Yo, I was super excited. Brought this up. So the runtime, 87 minutes. I'm like, yo, treat. I like this. Good, just enough time. I like that. But no, I think music and horror definitely go hand in hand. From metal to Beethoven. I think it all works. Now, I don't know if this is the end all be all of this kind of stuff. I don't know if I've really seen a satanic, violin based film before. But I did enjoy this. Runtime wise, it's a fucking low investment, and it doesn't really drag. Like we said, it had this been a tight 40-minute part of the anthology, I think it really would have been able to get to the root of the story. But overall, I did like this, and it was fun. It was a nice surprise. I have some other issues on the back end. I'm not going to talk about it, but overall, I would say this is a treat.
All right, MZ.
I agree as well with the anthology idea. I think that if this movie was shaved down about 40, 50 minutes, you could get yourself a pretty decent little story out of this. There's some padding in here that could be taken care of. The performances were fairly decent. I thought James Faulkner's performance as Sir Victor was the standout performance in here. Two subjective situations though with this movie, and one of them I already brought up, and that's the fact that I know nothing about music, in spite of the fact of what I said about the sonata itself and how it's a story and how it brings up pitches and tempos and things like that. I know nothing about music. So when they start talking about music and sheet music and what the notes are and everything like that, it's as jumbled to me as the French language. You know, and that was another problem for me. Yeah, the French, not the French, but the
what
French.
The fuck?
Not the French, but the French language. It just threw me. I mean, you guys.
Fuck you, Zero.
But you guys know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
It was that, and you know, I think some very interesting things were said. I just didn't get it. I just didn't get it. That's the subjective part. The objective part now is you got a really decent story here, a very interesting idea. Like I said, it reminded me a lot of cigarette burns, where you have somebody creating something that opens up a portal to a different world. And normally that world ain't so hot, you know, ain't so good. That separate building from the house, from the mansion, I forget what it was. It was like a work shed or something like that.
Yeah, like a medieval shed.
I thought it was pretty good, but the overall, it just didn't get to me, you know, because with what they were giving us in that scene, you know, to hear something like that, you know, that usually sends chills down your spine. It didn't do it for me. I can't understand why. I also felt the ending was a bit. I just didn't like the way it looked. It was edited really good. But the situations involved, the way it looked overall, I just didn't particularly care for it. You know, I thought it looked a little. It didn't look good. It didn't look real.
Funny, now that you're saying that, I think there was something with when one scene ended, and it really finally ended. It was missing something in between. Mm-hmm. It could have used a little bit more of the previous scene to make that punch of the last scene a little more.
I think so. I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Yeah, it just felt
rushed.
It did feel rushed.
Yeah.
It did feel rushed. I like the editing, but it did feel a little rushed.
Yeah.
So and you got, what's his name? Rutger Hauer. You know, you got Rutger. I guess they couldn't get Richard Lynch. So, you know, it's good to see Rutger Hauer. I'm not going to complain about that. I don't care what capacity he's in. His vision, his appearance does give a halfway decent scare halfway through the film.
Yes.
And to me, that was really the only little scare that was there in the whole movie. You know, really, this movie didn't do much for me. So with all that said, it finally comes down to the Sonata itself, like Wolfie was talking about. And I think, at first I was going to give this a trick. I think I'm going to end up giving this a very minor treat, only because the more we talked about the Sonata, the more I'm starting to realize, well, maybe that was the saving grace of the film, because the music itself was the one thing that was hanging onto this, the whole movie was hanging on what this music would sound like. Hell, it's called the Sonata, so it's gotta have some punch to it, and it did. And I like that. It told a story just by the way the music sounded, and everything else, like I mentioned before. So yeah, I was going to give this a trick. I'm going to give this instead a minor treat. It's not going to blow your socks off. It's not great. No. It's not even really worthy of a second watch. But the music is what saves this movie from a trick. So I'll say this is a minor treat.
All right. And for me, I did pretty much enjoy this. I was surprised. Well, I shouldn't say I was surprised. I never really go in with specific expectations, but I didn't know what to expect of this, and I thought that as a sort of more of a mystery. I mean, there's certainly horror elements going on here, but in a sense, you're unraveling a mystery, and as it worked, I thought it was pretty effective. And when you hold it up with using that sort of razor, you think about this mystery, and the mystery that you're unraveling is this music, and the payoff is the music. I think that was effective. I think that worked, and I think the music was done well. I think what happens is interesting, and some of the spooky stuff that surrounds this piece of music is also fairly interesting. So I think overall this is a good job, and for a feature film debut, I think that this is good. I think that as someone who's done shorts and anthologies, the director, let me just get his name again, Andrew Desmond. I think maybe he went in with that sort of mindset, and maybe this was originally going to be another short for him. I don't know. I think, as we sort of mentioned, if this was a short and it cut a little bit of the fat off, it would have been really good. And still, it's a good movie, and I enjoyed it. It's probably not going to end up on the top 13, although at this point we've only seen 3 films, so I guess it is right now. But
it might, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is just a solid film. It's not going to blow anyone's blow anyone away, knock your socks off, or anything like that. But it's also not a shitty movie, and I'm not sorry that we saw it. I'm kind of glad that we did. So, the Sonata is a treat for me. Just a regular old treat. I dug it, and I think a lot of other people will. There's definitely some scares. There's some mystery involved, and there's some cool stuff. So, check it out, the Sonata. Now, I know. Okay, so that's going to do it for our discussion of the Sonata. Now, for next week, I was kind of going back and forth. After next week, we have a run of fucking awesome movies. Like, I usually don't talk about the movies that we're going to do ahead of time, but I'm just going to name some of the movies for you guys, okay? We're going to do Color Out of Space. Richard Stanley's new movie based on H.P. Lovecraft starring Nicolas Cage.
Shit.
We're going to do Uncut Gems, the Safdie brothers movie starring that guy, Adam Sandler.
Nice.
We're going to do Come to Daddy, Elijah Wood's movie, MZ.
Yeah.
We're going to do VFW. That's a new movie coming out from Fangoria and Joe Bigas, the director of Bliss.
Treat.
After Midnight from the directing duo behind The Battery.
Shit. That's fucking my shit right there.
And then this is going to be your shit, Raven Shadow. Buckle up, my friend.
All right.
Glenn Danzig's Veronica.
Are we doing that?
Yeah.
I just saw the trailer. I'm fucking scared. I love fucking Glenn. Even he wouldn't let me into the fucking show.
I know.
A couple years back.
Bring your Stimident.
Yeah.
Make sure you get Stimident with you.
Yeah, I get some fucking Danzig stories too, by the way. More than just that one. But and I bought those fucking old comic books too. So really, I'm fucking. This is gonna be a year. But I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So lots of good stuff coming up. So I was looking at like what we're gonna do for next week, and it was between a couple things, and we're gonna do a film that ended up being once again just like One Cut of the Dead, a film that I saw on some people's best of lists for 2019. Now, the reason we didn't do it is because it was in theaters, and it's just hitting VOD in a couple days. Let me get the actual date. So it's hitting on the 21st. So on January 21st, which is a Tuesday, it's going to hit VOD. And MZ, where would you rank The Shining in your top horror films of all time?
Oh, really?
Wow, it's got to rank in the top 10 somewhere. I know, I'm not sure where, but I'm sure it fits snugly in my top 10 somewhere.
Now, would you have any interest in seeing the sequel?
I might.
Dr. Sleep?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do Dr. Sleep then.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Interesting.
So, Ewan McGregor stars in this sequel to The Shining. And, yeah, I ended up seeing it on some best of lists for last year. And I even saw some people choose it for their best of the decade, which is interesting.
Really?
So we will check out Dr. Sleep. So I'm looking forward to this because I, like MZ, am a huge fan of The Shining. And it's no secret, I've mentioned before that Stanley Kubrick is by far one of my favorite directors of all time, if not my favorite. So I hold The Shining in high regard. And this film, just letting you guys know, 2.5 hours. So Raven Shadow, make sure you carve out some time, okay?
Fuck. They should make this fucking 87 minutes.
87
Lots
minutes.
of luck with that.
Should play a violin.
Lots of luck with that.
Yeah.
Come on, Cano.
So it's written and directed by Mike Flanagan. Now you guys know Mike Flanagan because we did Hush. He's done actually a bunch of Stephen King stuff. Well, maybe not a bunch, but he did Gerald's Game, which was on Netflix. He did. Oh, hold on, I'm looking at it.
Haunting of Hill House. Yes.
Haunting of Hill House. Yep. And
yeah, I binged the shit out of that. That was great.
he also did Oculus. I don't know if any of you guys saw that. It was okay.
Ouija. Yeah.
Yep. So he's done a lot of horror stuff in the last few years, and he's kind of worked himself up to be like a pretty steady hand as a horror filmmaker. So this is by far his biggest effort, and in terms of theatrically, anyways, I guess Haunting at Hill House is probably equally as big because that was a pretty big series for Netflix. But yeah, so
did you guys see Haunting of Hill House?
I did not.
Oh, it was riveting.
The TV
riveting. Show? Yeah, it was a series on Netflix.
Still on there?
Beats the hell out of me. There's only one way to find out.
Yeah, of course it's there.
Check your phone.
I like it when you check your phone.
I think I like more when you check your phone.
I like it when you do it.
All right, I'll check, you big baby. All right?
You big dummy.
Big fucking baby. Jesus Christ, you're such a whiny bitch.
So,
nice.
All right.
Raven Chat, do you know anything about Dr. Sleep?
Yeah, dude. No, well, it's the thing about that.
It's there.
It's a sequel to the novelization of The Shining, where it has the son picking it up. But my understanding, Danny Torrance, is a little bit convoluted because there's the film The Shining, but do they try to pay homage to both worlds?
Guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah, I'm not positive. I think. I think I saw that it was a sequel. Actually, I don't know. I think it references the film though, which, famously Stephen King has talked about that he does not like the film. He's not a fan of what Stanley Kubrick did. But the synopsis for Dr. Sleep is: years following the events of The Shining, a now adult Danny Torrance must protect a young girl with similar powers from a cult known as the True Knot, who prey on children with powers to remain immortal.
And from what I understand, King loves this movie.
Yeah, but then
kind of ironic.
But then again, he loves a lot of horror. Now, I think if you give him a $20 crisp $20 bill, he'll say that he loves your movie too.
Yeah, he don't mind. Give a fuck. I love Steve. I love the fact that
I do too. Don't get me wrong.
He's a huge comic fan. I mean, a lot of his stuff has some comic roots into it. I'm looking forward to talking about it. But I still love the fact that the dude wrote so many books fucking coked out of his fucking mind and didn't remember shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's an author.
Because he did Maximum Overdrive. He was coked out when he did Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah. He's like, what was that like?
Can't you tell?
I wrote that? Yeah, you did. Oh, shit. give him some more. No, it's cool. But no, I know someone that read when Dr. Sleep came out in novel first and told me the kind of premise. I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome. But yeah, my understanding was more based on the book than the film. But and there might be some characters. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. But I'm excited. Ewan McGregor with fucking powers, mind powers, almost Jedi-like.
Yeah, maybe we'll go. A little Obi-Wan action. So yeah,
probably no mullet ponytail.
We should. I don't know when Aries is getting back, but we should let him know so he could jump on this. But yeah, so we'll do Dr. Sleep.
I can't wait, bro. I can't wait.
We got
even at 2.5 hours. You can't wait.
Yeah, motherfucker, I can do that. I'm
Raven
gonna watch
Shadow,
it.
I can do that. He bitches if the movie's 95 minutes long, but he'll do a 2.5 hour movie.
Raven Shadow.
Well, yeah.
Look at it
Thank
like
you.
a TV series. Do 45 minutes.
Yeah.
45 minutes, and then do an hour for the last one.
Yeah, no, but
No, if you 45, 45, 45, he doesn't have to do that.
what are you fucking? Give me a hand. You're like a Barney.
It's 2.5 hours. Yeah.
Auctioneer? Yeah.
No, you're right. It would be an hour. Yeah.
25, 45, 45, 50. Thank you.
No, it'd be fun.
I'm excited. I'm excited. That's fucking you showing off your Survival the Film Freaks T-shirt.
Oh, look at you showing off your OTC gear.
I'm doing something on the other
Kinda
computer over here. I'm leaning in.
Kind of like me right now.
Yeah, what are you flexing, bro? He always sees your chest, Johnny, on the other monitor. We're probably getting more viewers. Take it off.
I told you that I'm doing something. I'm leaning over onto this other fucking computer so I can do something. I'm not showing off to you guys.
What now? Why are you being vague? Like Raven Shadow is. I'm doing something. Now you sound like Raven Shadow.
Okay, you want to know the details? It's really fucking boring. My hard drive on the backup computer is almost full, so I'm running Win Direct Stat so I can try to fucking find out what I can delete off of you, asshole. You happy? It's exciting.
Right.
It's riveting, isn't it?
Right. That is boring.
I was just thinking I would totally run Win Direct Stat first. That's my go-to.
Yeah, right.
I would run that first. I would probably call Johnny. And I apologize for all the texts you got the other day.
All the what texts?
The messages.
Oh, the messages. Oh, I guess. You get anxiety. I get it. I get it. It's okay.
I have a hard time.
I'm gonna gaslight you though, and it's all your fault. It's all in your head, Raven Shadow.
It is all in my head, Johnny. See, everything you're saying is real. And it's the real problems that I have. But I can't wait to watch Dr. Sleep.
All right, so there you go. Dr. Sleep, we're doing it in a week. So what else? Yeah, so that's it. But I'm looking forward to we got a fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks in a row of movies that I think that are going to be interesting. At least, may not love all of them, but 7
We'll
weeks.
see what happens.
Yeah, I can't wait. So we got a good run here coming up. So, as always, we love hearing from you guys. So if you guys get a chance to check out any of these, if you saw Dr. Sleep in the theater and you want to leave your thoughts, or if you're going to watch it on VOD, go ahead, send us a voice message or an email. Excuse me, I almost burped into the mic. I almost pulled a dynamo. Or an email to podcast@trickortreatradio.com.
I'm often called Dr. Sleep in theaters.
When you went and saw Suspiria, you were fucking Dr. Sleep.
Listen. Actually, that was your fault, Johnny. You set me up.
How did I set you up?
You gave me comfy leather chairs that heated up and giant pints of beer.
I didn't do anything.
No, you enabled. You didn't say no.
I didn't say no. I dragged you with me. I fucking drove. So you don't have to worry about it.
That's another problem, too. You drove, and that's what makes me fucking relax more.
Oh, yeah. So you were able to have a beer.
Yeah, well, 8 beer. Well, on the ride over. No, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So, well, that'll wrap up the discussion. Next, we got one voicemail, and then we'll just kind of shoot the shit and wrap some stuff up. So, why don't we cut to that voice message?
All right.
And let's hear from Arkham Josh.
Nice.
Hello, Trick or Treat Radio guys. It's Arkham Josh here, just calling in, catching up on the last couple weeks worth of films. As far as last week's film, One Cut of the Dead, I think I totally concur with what you guys were saying for the most part. is that, in the first 30 or so minutes, it's a really impressive shot, but there's a couple moments where you're like, why am I watching this? And then once you get past that, it's all like uphill from there, and it is a fantastic film. Especially getting to see everything from the first part go through that second time, and then even in the end credits when you get to see all that like extra bits and stuff, that was fantastic, really impressive, and a great film, great storytelling. The cast was great, just overall fantastic movie. So definitely treat and a recommend. This week's movie, The Sonata. Never heard of it. Didn't know anything going in, and I gotta say, conceptually, the story of this film I love. Really dug the kind of like little mystery aspect of them trying to decipher the symbols and the codes. I thought that the cast worked well. The story was good. I'm going to say, though, that the drawback on this film was the CG effects. First, you have that stupid bit with the painting. I mean, that one bit was just dumb enough to just kind of tank the whole movie right there. They were building something really good, and then they just do, like, the most obvious cheesy thing. But then I don't know. And towards the end, there was, I thought, some kind of wonky CG. I'm gonna say that it is still a treat, and it is still a recommend. But just kind of know going in that it's one of those films that could have been great, and it just kind of falls flat a little bit. Like I said, like it's the type of story I love. It's got the kind of like mystery aspect to it. The cast were good. The location was fantastic. That house was wonderful. But it just didn't quite get all the way there. Looks like it was a first-time feature, though, so I'd really be interested to see what the director does in the future, and I would definitely check it out. So The Sonata is also a treat and a kind of so-so recommend. Other than that, hey, I hope you guys are having a great week. I hope everything's going well, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, bye.
All right, Josh, thanks, buddy. And he did really enjoy One Cut of the Dead, and sounds like he also dug The Sonata for the most part. So, as always, love hearing from Josh. Like hearing his thoughts on film, or like hearing his thoughts about film on audio. Like hearing his voice.
Yes.
So, appreciate that, Josh. Let's see. I don't think we didn't get anything else in the last hour or so. So I'm trying to think. There's some stuff that I was gonna mention, and I'm not remembering everything right now. Do you guys have anything else you wanted to bring up? You watch any barn burners this week, MZ? Any movies or anything?
No, I was too busy watching the baseball bunch.
I actually watched
and getting mad at the fucking chicken.
Yeah. No, well, I did get in the mail yesterday my copy of Climax on Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Which was, if you listen to the year-end special, you know my take on Climax and how it's a very worthy addition to my collection. There's only one special feature involved in it, and that's it's a behind-the-scenes look at the movie, but really all it is Sophie Boutella talking about her experiences on the film.
Oh, okay.
And that runs about maybe 12, 13 minutes long. So that's that. You know what? I have no problem with that. My main focus is the movie. Now, as soon as Arrow starts putting out Climax on Blu-ray for the United States, because there is a there is a version out there that can only be played in the United Kingdom, and that has a ton more shit on there. And I hope they're able to bring that over to the United States, because I'll definitely be picking that up. So I watched it, yesterday, and I'm loving it, and it's everything like I remember it. It's absolute chaos.
Yeah,
absolute chaos.
That was a good one. I've only seen it the once, but I definitely would love to revisit it. I just remember loving the camera work and just very kind of like crazy but like controlled chaos, I guess,
Yeah.
We actually rewatched that about a week or so ago, and there was a fucking brutal part in that, like when they thought someone in particular spiked the punch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like I was fucking wincing watching that scene again.
In the back room.
Yeah.
Where it happened in the back. Yeah.
Oh my fucking
god. You really felt for her. You really felt for her. It was
fucking brutal.
Yeah,
dog.
it was pretty vile what they were doing to her.
Oh shit, MZ. Creepy Girl says climax meh.
Oh, baby, why would you break my heart like that? Oh, damn.
Oh, babe. Damn, babe.
Oh, baby. Damn. Come on. Are you kidding me? Oh, I loved Climax. What a movie. What a fucking movie that is. Great camera work. The music rocks. I would love to get the soundtrack to that. I mean, you get Daft Punk, fucking Rolling Stones, Mars, for fuck's sake. Yeah. I mean, and it gets
Aphex Twin.
Aphex Twin, and it really gets crazy after the LSD starts circulating through their system, because there's that one scene where I think it's Sophie Patella's character who's walking down the
hallway.
A hallway or a stairway.
That was my favorite scene.
But there was that, everybody's already freaking out, but you got that one dude, that one dancer, who's like completely discontorting himself.
Yes. Yeah.
And his arms are flapping around all over the place like this. And I mean, if I was up on LSD and I saw that, I would be losing my fucking mind. I really would, because nobody's body should be shaped like that. Nobody's body should be moving like that. It doesn't jive. It doesn't make sense. And if you're up on LSD, man, it's just going to be even creepier.
Yeah, that's why I don't do acid
anymore.
I don't need that.
It's not a movie I watched, but I was asked by Joe over at the Horror Squad podcast to give my top 10 of the decade. So I want to have that discussion with you guys. So maybe that's a thing we'll do for the Patreon or a discussion in the future. But I guess start thinking about your top 10 films of the decade. So I'm not going to talk about mine in case we do that, but it was fucking hard. I mostly pick shows we did on the show because, I don't know, for me, like, it's hard for me to go ahead and look at all the films I've seen in the last 10 years. So, I have sort of like more of an emotional connection to the ones that we do for some reason, so I tend to like to talk about those ones. So, and I would agree. Yeah. And it's funny because my list was completely different from the others that they posted. And like mine was definitely a product of our show. Some of the ones that I had on there were movies that we had reviewed and talked about and like really kind of bonded over with other people, and whereas like a lot of the others were like films that were all theatrical releases, like the Conjuring movies and stuff. And I'm like, those are fine, but like, I don't know. I'm never going to go back and watch a Conjuring movie, I don't think, Like, no. I'll see it in the theater, and it's fine.
I would have more fun doing what we've done on the show. 'Cause otherwise, it'll just be all fucking Avengers movies.
Well, it would be horror or something like that. Like I want to limit it to a genre if we did.
You gotta like, gotta curtail it somehow. And
Yeah,
I think I would have more fun doing it what we've done on the show.
Yeah. Now I may need to rewatch some because I look back at my list and some of the ones that I had as number one, like not surprised me, but I was like, oh shit, I haven't thought about that movie in a couple of years. I should go back and rewatch it and see if it holds up,
That would be kind of a cool. What could we do with that? Like a. We can't put out an anthology, but a recommendation of like a viewing order or list or something like that.
We would do the same. We probably do the same thing that we do for our year-end shows. We probably everyone have their list, and then we'll make like the master list, Or
take
assign point values and stuff like that, and do like the master list of top films for Trick or Treat Radio for the decade. We haven't been doing the show for the entire decade, but for us it's coming up on 8 years, 7.5 years. So yeah, just think about it. Think about some of the films, and it's something we might do in the future. I thought it was interesting to do. I honestly don't know what I would pick as number one because I did strictly horror for that list that they asked me to do. So it would differ if we just did shows, if we did movies that we did on the show, because there was some stuff I pulled out because it wasn't horror, So it could be fun. Do you guys know? I don't want you to say it, but do you know off the bat what your number one would be, or would you have to think about it?
I would have to think about that because I would also have to, there might be the possibility that you would have to reconsider placements. If you were to review all the films, all the horror films that we reviewed in here, like you might think like a movie that you thought would be number 3 in 1 year could be, if you say like on your top 10 list, you have your number 1 film and your number 3 film, say for 3 years ago, your opinion of those films might have changed where 3 could be 1 and 1 could be 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
like for instance, one that I'll mention, I can't remember what year we did it. Maybe it's 2014. But Kamiko the Treasure Hunter was my number 1 that year. And I mean,
I remember.
I remember really enjoying that movie. That was the one where, if you guys remember, where it's sort of like Fargo. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I haven't seen it since. So I'm actually having trouble remembering it. Obviously, it left an impression on me that year, but that's the thing, is going back and looking at like these films that I chose as number 1. Like, would I still hold them up that high? Because if it hasn't left an impression on me since then, maybe it wasn't as good as I thought, or something. I don't know. It's just interesting to think about.
But then, where does something like Miami Connection come into play?
Well, that's not a horror movie.
I ain't doing horror movies. I'm doing movies we watch on the show.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about horror.
For me, I ain't doing horror movies. I'm doing movies for the show.
Yeah, I was just talking about I did the list for the horror squad was just horror.
Yeah.
So
yeah. No, I just got that confused. That's all right. Yeah. No, okay, yeah. I mean, if you want to, sure.
But yeah, so just give it some thought. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult as fuck to even think about.
Yeah.
But, and they're, looking at the master list, like I know some films like Joe Dorowski's Dune, which is a fucking amazing documentary. Like,
fuck.
How does that hold up against a movie like, I don't know, like The Editor, The Void, other movies like that, like it's hard to compare, and it's been so long,
Self 99 or fucking Man-Borg.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna have a chance to go back and watch all these movies either. Like it's just not possible. But so I'm gonna have to, I may have to watch a couple of them for tiebreakers. But otherwise, I'm just gonna have to go back to my memory. Like movie like What We Do in the Shadows. Like maybe that one's higher because we talk about it often still.
Yeah,
that's fucking so dope. Don't be a swell.
Oh, did you watch the TV show Raven Shadow, by the way?
I only caught a couple of episodes season 1, right?
There's
but
only
actually,
one season so far. Yeah.
Yeah, that's on whatever it's on. I think
FX.
on the Hulu.
Oh yeah,
FX.
yeah.
But so I watched actually the pilot the other day, and it's so fucking good. I'm gonna fucking bang that out.
I think it gets better too. By the way, like once you get a real solid like idea of who the characters are, I think it gets better. And by the end, it's just fucking great. But one thing go ahead.
Was what it does. It's I mean, like, oh, a movie's a TV show. This is gonna fucking suck, but it does it the right way with new characters. Same feel, but different characters, and that's what makes it awesome.
Yeah, exactly. That's
saying?
exactly. They barely reuse gags or anything like that. So, but yeah, and also I saw that Mark Hamill is going to appear sometime in season 2.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's exciting.
Yeah, it's fucking so fucking good.
There's one. I mean, all the episodes are great, but there's one episode of season 1 that's just fucking outrageous. Like, I don't even want to give it away, but it's outrageous.
I want to say, like, I caught 2 episodes from season 1 back when we recorded on Wednesday nights, and we happened to get out early enough, and I may have been off that Thursday for whatever reasons. It's the only way I was able to watch it, like on the 2 a.m. easy view type thing.
Yeah. It's good. So I'm looking forward to seeing more. And man, Taika Waititi is just blowing up now, which I am totally fucking fine with. But I love Flight of the Conchords. I love Eagle versus Shark. I love all this, like all the stuff that I've seen of his is fucking great.
They're fucking the best.
So I love that he's just getting a lot of love now, and I'm glad that he can pick and choose his projects at this point because he's just so good that I just would love to see him be able to do anything and have any budget to work with, you know. And he's up for a fucking Oscar with Jojo Rabbit, so
yeah,
that's crazy.
So good for him, man. Like it's it's good to see those kind of success stories for guys who have been kind of doing it their own way, you know, and not kind of selling out, so to speak.
Sure.
And I'm looking forward to Thor: Love and Thunder.
I'll be outrageous.
Yeah,
I can't wait. This is not a rabbit hole, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Did you? Oh, by the way, did you see the Morbius trailer?
I did.
What do you think?
It looks fine. Look cool.
What do you think of Jared Leto as Morbius?
He looks familiar.
Is it Morbius or Mobius?
Morbius.
Morbius. That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, Michael Morbius.
Morpheus.
Well, yeah, Morbius. Yeah. This is the actor.
Take the blood red pill.
Yeah, the fucking artist, Mobius, but he's Morbius, Michael Morbius. And
Take the red pill.
Yes. I like the character. I mean, I was big into. I enjoyed the '90s series during like the whole. What was it? Not Marvel Knights, Night Stalkers, whatever the fuck. Midnight Suns. The Midnight Suns was when they took the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, brought in Johnny Blaze, and they did the whole like Night Stalkers.
Yep.
They tried to have like a supernatural quadrant in the Marvel universe, and they made Morbius turn face. And for whatever reason, I remember that series. He had like a $700 leather suit that he wore that would protect him from like daylight. And I do like the character. I saw some of the cameos, which is pretty rad. And one particular poster cameo is causing a lot of ruckus on the internet. If you saw that, see that, Johnny?
A poster cameo?
Yeah,
I saw the trailer, so I the cameo that I think you're talking about, I saw.
But there's a scene where he's walking in an alley, and there's a Spider-Man poster with a line that says "murderer" on it, and fans are claiming that was the Tobey Maguire costume. There's some fans that are claiming that it's the suit from the PlayStation 4 game, and not not to reveal anything, but this movie's supposed to be in a weird shared universe between the MCU and the Sony Spider-Verse. And that's all in the trailer. But the Spider-Man murderer thing ties into the most recent. I mean,
Yeah. It definitely ties into Spider-Man.
it's been out for a while, right? Like, so I'm into it. I do like Jared Leto. Trailer-wise, it looked kind of like any kind of superhero spin-off movie trailer, but I'm intrigued. I do like him, the living vampire.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. Check it out. Tell him Michael Raven Shadow sent you.
Yeah, tell him Raven Shadow sent you.
Tell him Michael Morbius Raven Shadow sent you.
Yeah, if not, they've been watching this fucking Trick or Treat radio tapes in the back, but that's fair. He's so handsome. I am no Jared Leto, sir. But he definitely borrowed some fucking characteristics. I'm excited.
I thought there was something else I was going to talk about too. Shit.
Lots been happening.
I know. That's the thing.
I watched a fucking cartoon movie on Saturday, John.
You watched a cartoon movie? What movie?
Yeah. The Pixar.
The Pixar. That's the name of the movie?
The Pixar brand.
What fucking movie?
Up.
The movie Up?
Up,
yeah,
down, down.
Oh.
Back, left, right. I watched that. With the fucking guy with the fucking balloons. You ever see that movie?
I haven't. No, I haven't.
I was fucking moved. There's talking dogs. There's sadness. There's tragedy.
Talking dogs, sadness, and
it's
tragedy.
fucked up. Yeah. There's a fucking
You know what's tragedy? Listening to you talking about this shit.
Yeah, well, it's not as riveting as the fucking chicken talk from earlier. I'm fucking trying to tell you something. But you got fucking, you're flapping your fucking gums and your fucking wings. But yeah, it fucking opens up with this fucking weird fucking almost like Watchmen-like fucking montage of, hey, good times. Oh my God, sadness. Here's the film, kids. Check that out. It'll make you fucking cry. Up.
Up. Excellent. All right. Well, maybe we should wrap this shit up. I don't know. Maybe end a little early. We got without Aries. We're a little lost now.
I miss Aries so much.
How much?
You think he's packing right now?
No, he left last fucking week. You idiot.
Shit.
That's why we did the show on Tuesday so he could leave.
I hope he packed his boots.
What do you think he's wearing? Pants, boots, and his T-shirt down there on the beach? I'm
picturing a lot of things. I'm picturing him sunning himself, and I can't get the image of the beard. Tan line.
The beard
out of my
tan
head.
line.
I'm going to draw that picture later on when you got.
Didn't you draw a picture of him before?
I'm working on it. I actually have some spider, him riding the spider.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I remember.
I can't wait to see that one.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that.
Let's see. So yeah, we did just, I don't know if anyone cares, a quick little update. We did another episode of Force Insensitive, and we did our wrap up for season 1, and we did predictions for season 2 on the last one. So, and I think we're going to keep it going. We weren't sure if we're going to keep it going after The Mandalorian, but I think we will. So,
well, I wondered about. So so unlike doing seasons like the Outside Corner baseball program,
which also is in flux.
Fair, but so you're going to keep going the Force Insensitive. Because there's some news. There's some news, right? Rosario Dawson wants to play some fucking Jedi chick.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So we'll probably cover some of that stuff, but also we had some people like kind of write in and give us some thoughts. People would like to hear us talk about Clone Wars and Rebels, the animated stuff. People want to hear us talk about some of the video games. So yeah, so I think there's enough stuff there. We're still working through it and figuring it out, but I think it'll probably happen. So.
Actually, I want to check out those Kylo Ren comics too that you mentioned. I think on the third hour. Of,
oh yeah.
But I was ringing a couple up, and the cover had Kylo Ren fighting Luke with the green lightsaber. Older Luke. I'm like, I gotta fucking read that because the fucking green lightsaber doesn't get enough fucking love. That's my fucking favorite.
What I don't think I've talked about this on this show, but I'm playing Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. That's the new Star Wars game that came out late last year, and it's pretty awesome. I'm almost done. I'm being that really anal person and going and like 100%ing every planet. Finding all the secrets and chests and everything.
Yeah.
So because I know that I'm getting close to the end, so I figured I'd just go do all that shit and then finish the game. So it's been fun though. It's real good.
I'm so bummed that I gave Tron my N64 when I moved out of the manor because I really want to play fucking Shadows of the Empire again. I fucking love that.
It's probably
game.
not as good as you remember.
I don't know though.
Now you're just fighting.
Do you remember? Did you
manipulate?
Did you ever play Masters of Terrascasi, the fighting game for PlayStation?
I don't know. I don't know what you just said.
Okay, so you don't know who JadoCast is then?
Are you JadoCasting me right now?
This is Mother Mama Cast.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I didn't have PlayStation 1. We had N64.
Oh, I'm sorry. You missed out.
No. Well.
Terrascasi was like a form of martial arts in the Star Wars universe. And so it had like Han, Luke, all the major characters, but then it had a Tuscan raider named Hor.
Whoopi wrote it.
H-O-A-R. Hor.
Yep. That's how you say it.
Had a Gamorrean guard. What's that?
Was it a Mortal Kombat game?
Yeah, it's a fighting game. Yeah, that's what I said.
Why do I remember that?
Because it's awesome. And then they had a Boba Fett ripoff named JodoCast.
Why they could use Boba Fett?
No, Boba Fett was in it, but they had another Mandalorian who, apparently, he stole Boba Fett's identity. It was doing jobs as Boba Fett.
With the same outfit?
Yeah.
Now I'm fascinated. Wait a minute.
And Mara Jade was in it.
Really?
Yep.
You know what she becomes?
Who's she become?
Luke's wife.
I know. They have
That's sexy, Johnny.
They have.
You know that?
They have force sex.
Whoa. You can't. Look, Jedis, you can't force sex on people.
Well, they're not even supposed to, anyways, right?
That's fucking. I fucking hate that shit. I hate that fucking. I don't know, some weird Puritan religion thing that you can't. Fuck, it's so dumb. It's so funny. The whole thing where Superman had to give his fucking powers in Superman 2 to fuck Lois, but yet in Superman 3, Red Kryptonite, he ends up fucking Robert Vaughn's girlfriend.
Yeah, but when you think about it, I mean, if he was to stay as Superman and not have powers taken away, he would have killed Lois.
No, that's not how it works. I'm pretty sure, fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger.
She would have been ripped in half. Her teeth would have been busted out.
That's not how it works, sir. You need to do it for real. You can hold back your powers. And I hate the whole, you can't be this without having a lady. That's dumb. You know who wrote that? Virgins.
What the fuck?
Well, yeah, they're writing comic books. Of course they're virgins.
I don't know.
They kind of go hand in hand, don't they?
We're getting derailed. But no, I do remember that game. I remember
now
that
he's
game
worried about getting derailed.
with the Gamorrean guards. And yeah, that was cool. I would check that out. Actually, we might get a PlayStation for draft day, Johnny.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's talk about that for that weekend.
I love that. You're going to be the honorary team captain, right?
You have no idea what these guys are talking about and have planned. It's crazy.
Oh, my God.
You should come up for that.
Maybe. It's going to be lots of debauchery going on that weekend.
We'll get a PlayStation. We'll get cheese pizza.
Jesus. All right, now I'm out.
Come on.
All right, so let's wrap the shit up. So no Aries, but Aries will be back next week unless he falls into the fucking ocean.
I hope he wears his water wings.
These little bubbles. What are those called?
Yeah.
Floaties.
Yeah.
Floaties.
Floaty.
Maybe Goofy beat the shit out of him.
He will fucking beat the shit out of Goofy.
He'll beat the shit
I
out
hope
of
there's-
you.
How great would that be if there's like video of Aries just beating the shit out of Goofy, and it hits the internet and goes viral? And
I don't want that to happen.
I want that to happen. That'd be funny.
All right, let's say our goodbyes, MZ.
Arrivederci, douchebags.
Rave Shadow.
Live fast, love hard, die with your mask on.
All right, that is going to do it for episode 390. Holy shit, guys, we're getting close to 400. We're fucking old. So we appreciate Josh sending in a voice message, and for everyone checking out the live show, we appreciate it, and also everyone that will listen to the podcast. You guys are the fucking best. Thank you, and go check out our Patreon, patreon.com/trickortreatradio. Help support the show. All right, that's going to do it. So for episode 390, this is me, Johnny Wolfenstein. Those are those fucking guys over at the Lair La Swag. We'll see you later.